Yellow pepper.
Yellow stockfish.
Yes.
Who be this one? My Doma coin.
Read Oriental Noodles. Nítorí pé a ṣe èròjà.
English.
For Indomie sponsor task, the housemates were grouped into 3 groups: Team Oriental Noodles, Team Indomie Crayfish, and Team Indomie Chicken Pepper Soup. And then Big Brother informed them that they'll be engaging in multiple phases of activities, and at the end, the team with the highest score across all activities becomes today's winners. And then, for the first activity of the day, is called Crossword puzzle, a puzzle with a little twist. In the arena was displayed a ball pit, which will be called pot of ingredients for this task. And then there is a podium where a sheet of paper containing list of ingredients assigned to each team will be, and then a puzzle board. For this game, Big Brother informed that each team will be bringing 3 representatives. The first player will have to stand behind the podium, and their duty will be to be calling out ingredients, while the second player will have to pick the ingredients from the ingredients pot, that is the pit or bowl. And when they pick up this ingredient, they mention the ingredients, the third player will now have to be the player at the puzzle board. The player will now go ahead and cross the word, that's the ingredient mentioned. While each team will have their designated board, there will have to be a 5 rounds because there will be 5 ingredients for each team. And then Big Brother told them, if you spill the board while you're searching for ingredients, you have to sort them back together before you get out of the pit. And each team is not allowed to call another ingredient if the one being called has not been crossed on the board. Each team will have 5 minutes to play, and they are hustling for 30 points. Team Crayfish were the first to play. Zita was the first player who was in charge of calling out the ingredients, so she stood by the ingredients podium. And then we have Rude Boy, who goes in search of the ingredients in the ball pit, and Ivata, who stood at the puzzle board crossing the words. At the end, they didn't get Big Brother's instruction right, so Big Brother told them that they got just 10 points. Up next, we have Team Oriental Fried Noodles. So Coin was the one in the ingredient pot, while Emisi did the ingredient call out, and we have Dede at the puzzle board crossing the words. They were the highest scorer for this category. They crossed all correctly, and Big Brother also confirmed that they were perfect. So with that, they got 30 points. And then for the last team Indomie Chicken Pepper Soup. Mide was at the ingredients podium calling out ingredients, while Mensan did the searching, and Faith at the word puzzle board crossing the words. Mensan actually had a tough time getting some ingredients, but at the end, they got 20 points. Big Brother said they missed some of the instructions, and at that, only 2 rounds will count for them. The next activity of the day is called Show Some Love Behind My Back. So for this very one, each team will write on another team's back. But how it goes is that you're going to be writing some positive words, love letter, words of affirmation, anything good, everything good. Okay. Now, Big Brother told them that it will be 2 rounds, a team per round. So a team now will have to nominate who will be blindfolded, and there will be an opposing team. This opposing team will be the ones that will have to write down these positive words and then go ahead to put it in the backpack of the blindfolded team. That's the other team they will be writing something good about. Bear in mind that the opposing team will have to bring 3 representatives who will write these notes. After they are done depositing it at the backpack, the member playing for each team will have to unfold, remove the blindfold, and read out what was written. Now, this is where the game comes in. After reading it out, you go ahead to guess who wrote that from that team. For every correct guess, you get 5 points. For this game, Team Oriental Fried Noodles will have to write for Team Chicken Pepper Soup, while Team Chicken Pepper Soup will write for Crayfish, and Team Crayfish will write for Team Oriental Fried Noodles. Now, for Team Oriental Fried Noodles, Culture came out to be blindfolded, and then Team Crayfish, which is the opposing team, brought forth Zita, Denari, and K-Bobo to, write the notes, and after which Culture read it out and was unable to guess in correctly. Mind you, this team actually love how they played theirs. So for their love notes, K-Bobo actually wrote his in a pidgin language. You could have thought, And then Zita was the one writing to Culture, telling Culture, I love that you enjoy my cooking. So when Culture read that out, Culture said, who else cooks in this team except K-Bobo? So he guessed it could be K-Bobo that wrote that. And then that one that was written in pidgin, he guessed it to be Denari. Denari is the one trained pidgin as Port Harcourt boy now. And then the other one, Zita, not knowing is the other way around. That K-Bobo wrote in pidgin, Zita said, thank you for enjoying my fried egg and all of that. Now to the next team. Rude Boy played on behalf of Team Crayfish and was pranked by Team Chicken Pepper Soup. That is Bright, Tracy, and Mesan. He ended up guessing wrongly. In fact, his own was worse because he mentioned Kaikumi, who was not even in the team. Team Chicken Pepper Soup. But due to their sitting arrangement, he didn't know he wasn't in that team. And he went ahead to also guess Joanna. He was still in the first guess when the buzzer went off. Meanwhile, it was Bright, Tracy, and Mesan. And I actually love what they wrote. Tracy, even if you were to guess, he wouldn't have gotten that because Tracy wrote, I can't wait for us to get a matching tattoo. You can imagine Tracy writing about tattoo. They all played well. And now, finally, Team Chicken Pepper Soup, pranked by Kaikumi, Jessin J, and Emisi. She also guessed wrongly, and then Big Brother told them that for this category, all team scored a 0. And now to the final activity of the day, which is a cooking presentation competition. Now, for this very one, each team will be showcasing the different region in Nigeria through their cooking. Team Chicken Pepper Soup will be representing the northern part of Nigeria. Team Oriental Fried Noodles will represent the west, while Team Crayfish will represent the east. Now, each team will have to use the primary ingredient, and that is the word that they unraveled during the crossword puzzle. Okay, now Big Brother informed them that each team will have to bring four representatives, 2 representatives for cooking, and then 2 representatives for the presentation, the food presentation. And this food presentation must be a male and female. They will have 25 minutes to cook. Everything will be cooking simultaneously. After cooking, they will have to plate their food into 2 plates. Small one for Big Brother to taste and a bigger one for them to use for their presentation. Big Brother told them they will be judged based on the general outlook of their food, creativity, time management, and how well they embodied their designated region. And each of these criteria has 10 points attached to it. Now, Team Crayfish brought K-Bobo and Doris as their chef. Team Oriental Fried Noodles brought Otega and Thelma as their chef, while Team Pepper Soup brought Joanna and Isabella. After they were done cooking, time for presenters to come forth and showcase what their team made. Big Brother told the presenters to accessorize by using the accessories that represent their team and then the region they are representing in Nigeria. And then the first presenters happened to be Emisi and Coin, representing Team Oriental. And they came forth giving us this Yoruba chants, music, dancing, performing, showing their food. And after which Emisi went ahead to tell us about Indomie, but in Yoruba language. And being Big Brother requested that she speak English. Coin then decided to take over, telling us that the key And the star ingredient happens to be locust beans, which is known as iru in Yoruba, that is very healthy and releases this local flavor into the food. And a mixture of iru and the Indomie Oriental spices bring it to the ancient and modern that nobody knew can happen. Well, time buzzed out. They didn't complete because they took time in the entrance song. I don't know whether that's central song or chant that they gave us. Up next, we have Team Crayfish, ably represented by Gigi Jasmine and Ruboy. Ruboy started by greeting the audience in the usual Igbo way, which is Igbo Kwenu, and then Gigi Jasmine proceeds to tell us the key ingredients they used, which is the crayfish, and then okazi. And one thing about okazi is that in Igbo land they pluck it right at their backyard, so they freestyle with this in their meals. And the palm oil, which is uniquely known by the Easterners, where it's been sourced. I don't think palm oil is only sourced in eastern parts of Nigeria, but anyway, let's go. She said she also made use of scent. They also made use of scent leaf, and with that they also added stockfish. Who wouldn't want stockfish in their food? And honestly, their food looks very good. Kudos to the chef K Bobo and Doris. And finally, we have chicken pepper soup. Team chicken pepper soup, represented by Faith and Big Soso. Big Soso did the introduction, telling us what the Northerners are generally known for, which is growing of herbs, spices, rearing of animals, poultry, and then that brings us to Indomie chicken pepper soup, made with chicken gotten from just their farm, spices, ginger, and all of that. And that's in the evening. This is now where Faith took in. He said in the evening the family come together and enjoy their warm bowl of noodles. And now, time to get the scores. Like Big Brother said, they'll be judged on look, creativity, time management, and how well you embodied your region. Now, Team Oriental, fried noodles. For look, it's creativity 9. Time management, Big Brother said they actually finished cooking on time, but because they got buzzed out during their presentation, 5. How well you embodied your region, they got 10. Then Team Crayfish, outlook 7, creativity 7, time management 5, because they didn't finish on time, although they were able to finish before the timer buzzed them during the presentation. Big Brother gave them 5. How well you embodied your region, 5. Now, for Team chicken pepper soup, look 10, creativity 8, time management 10, how well you embodied your region, 7. So with that, with 62 points, the winners of tonight's Indomie Love and Flavor task is Team Oriental Noodles. Congratulations to Imisi, Jason J, Coin, Dede, Kaikumi, Otega, Telma. I'm glad they got 10 for how well you embodied a region, because you see that chant, that entrance song Coin and Imisi did, it's mad. For the fact they incorporated their team name into it, that's the Indomie Oriental into it. Perfect, because this is what brands are looking out for. It's like let's just say they did a jingle for Indomie, because you can actually use that and go and do sales canvassing in that region. And Kanye was even about to blame Imisi. In fact, he was already blaming Imisi for them being buzzed out. But maybe it was 2 of you they were doing the presentation. Anyways, glad they won at last. Congratulations to them. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. I will see you in my next video. Bye.
Everyone in the family eats from this bowl.
The winning team is Oriental Fried Noodles.